Hello guys and welcome to Champs Crypto. Today I'll be talking about the best technical analysis video for YouTube. I'll be talking about the best long and short setup that I'm currently interested in Bitcoin. I'm also going to briefly talk about the previous two setups that I've given on the previous video, on my first YouTube video actually, and how they all played out nicely. And then I'm going to walk you through the best long setup, where Bitcoin will bounce, and also how Bitcoin could make a new all-time high. So watch the video to the end. As you can see here, Bitcoin has actually rejected from the level that I've mentioned on my previous video. If you go back to the first video that I've done, as you can see, I first said that I was in a long trade from about 64.75k, and if you go to this chart, as you can see, I've had this drawn out on my chart and it's actually played out very nicely. Bitcoin bounced from 64.75k and actually had risen up till 66.4k, giving us a very nice long trade. And then Bitcoin actually started to go down. And now, if we go back to this chart, we can see that Bitcoin has ejected from the place that I've mentioned on my previous video. If we pull back the Fibonacci retracement from the top of this move till the downward move, as you can see here, and then we can go back to my YouTube video. As you can see, I've drawn out this move. As you can see, I've said that Bitcoin will go up, and then if it takes out this Fibonacci level, then you could go into a short trade, as you can see. And I also drawn out the trade. As you can see, we had the limit order and also the current price action playing out perfectly. As you can see, Bitcoin has actually done the first and second setup that I've given on my first YouTube video. So as you can see, hopefully you found the first video helpful to you guys and you actually took those trades. Now, after those trades being played out and then Bitcoin dropping back down to 64.8k, I'll be explaining the next trades that I'm interested in Bitcoin. As you can see, the first trade that I'm interested in, which is a long story. So the first trade that I'm interested in is Bitcoin actually going downwards. If it does, then I'll be interested in a long setup. As you can see, if Bitcoin starts to actually break down furthermore and then it hits $64,000 and it does an SFP, takes out liquidity, and preferably also it hits 63.7k, about 63.7k, and then it goes back above the red line. If it does this move, then I'm also interested in a long setup. As you can see, if you go to a long position, you could set the long position, have a tight stop loss under the wick, and then have this go until perhaps even higher than $66,000. As I've said on my previous video, that I'm interested in, or I'm expecting, an all-time high being done or being made on Bitcoin. So if you take a long setup from this area, then you could take this long or keep this long for as long as possible until Bitcoin shows a nice rejection. So this is the first trade that I'm interested in, which is a long. However, if Bitcoin breaks down or starts to lose this level and doesn't give us this move, if Bitcoin, perhaps if we draw the other rejection movement, if Bitcoin starts to break down, it shows us that Bitcoin is weak and then it loses 63.7k, then I'm not gonna go into a long trade. However, I'll be expecting a further move, perhaps even down till 61 or even $60,000. So we can consider $64,000 to be a very important level to hold. If it does, then it would give us a nice trade, but if it doesn't, then we can expect a further downward movement. And we also, if we go back to this chart, as you can see, as I've explained previously on my previous video, on my first video, that we have a larger parallel channel, as you can see here, but also we have a smaller one that's inside the larger parallel channel. As we can see, if Bitcoin actually, using the volume profile, if Bitcoin actually goes back above $66,000, then using the idea of the volume profile, if it goes back above the value area low, then we can actually expect Bitcoin to bump up from $66,000 up until the value area high, the next blue level, which is at $70,000. And also, as I've said previously, if we break above 67, then I'm already going to be expecting an all-time high being created. So as you can see, we have a smaller idea, a smaller bullish idea within the larger bullish idea. As you can see, I've explained that we've taken liquidity from the buy side liquidity. So I'm expecting actually an all-time high and a rise above 63.9k. However, if Bitcoin loses, as I've said, $63,000, then we can actually expect a further move up until, or down until, $60,000. And the idea of creating an all-time high will be cancelled if we lose $60,000. So there's a contingency of holding $60,000 if we want to make a new all-time high. Hopefully I've explained this idea and also I've explained the next long setup that I'm interested in. Thanks for watching and have a good day.